First things first, Perttu, how are you?
Actually brilliant. Having a wonderful, long night behind. It's been very busy year, so I actually have had a huge lack of sleep, but now feeling great.
And before you started on the record Shadowmaker, you had a year off. So was it nice to have that time, in a way?
Yeah, actually, we toured a bit over 2 years for the previous album, for the Seventh Symphony, and after that time and all the tours, we were quite exhausted. Like, definitely felt like everybody would need to concentrate for a moment for other things in their life. And for example, I was practicing some classical music and playing that kind of concerts, and it was extremely interesting to do such things after even 15 years break that I had. So we thought that if we do such a thing, and we never had that big breaks during our career, so we thought that that could open our minds still more to develop and find new worlds with Apocalyptica. And then, after the kind of Sabbath year, we came back, and actually I feel that we came back stronger, so we succeeded in what we were trying to achieve with the break, because everybody was still maybe even more excited towards Apocalyptica project than ever, or at least we had the same feel like when we started, when we were teenagers, playing thrash metal music. So we came back with lots of visions, and actually that was also one of the main reasons why the album turned out to be like it is actually. That we suddenly had a pretty clear vision that now, after everything, we have to concentrate to ourselves. And that was the main thing when we started to think about the concept, that we didn't want to spread the attention, to all over, like once again starting the same roulette with, bunch of featuring artists, bunch of whatever elements, orchestras, or we felt that now we want to go a little bit with the same feel as what we had when we did our third album, The Cult, which was one of the most determining albums in Apocalypse history, because that was the moment when we decided to really become a band, like start to compose own material, and really, in a start, it was rather like experimental thing. We had no idea what we are doing, and we were not really planning on forming any kind of band. We were a bunch of friends who wanted to try different kind of things, but in a Cult era, we decided that this is a good project, and we want to concentrate in it, start to do our own material. And now with the Shadowmaker period, we had the same feel that we have to increase and find our own identity once again, back to ourselves, like concentration inside into the band, the very band. And of course, it's natural that we have liked and loved every single vocal cooperations we have done, but this time we felt that we want to do the concept such a way that we find an own vocalist to do everything, so still we feel like a unit and solid unit.
Right. If you go back to Cult, then do you remember, was there something in particular that made you all decide, well, we kind of need to become a band now? What got you this identity?
Totally, and actually that came through by a kind of big struggle even, because we had a Finnish record company back then, and during the third album recording, they would have wanted us to play still more covers, like moving forwards to Motorhead and Lynyrd Skynyrd and stuff like this, and that would have been a cool thing, of course, but for us it was pretty clear ever since 2099 that if we want to see ourselves somewhere in future, we have to find our very own position in between music world. And in that sense, that's starting to really trying to find all the possibilities of cello in rock music use. That's only basically possible to achieve by doing the own stuff and really develop the techniques further. And I think that was a beautiful decision. We were brave, and actually nobody around us believed in it. We just thought that Eikka had like huge amount of cool songs, And I remember very well that we just believed that this will be one of the coolest things ever if we follow it. And then we were really, we went into the court with the record company, you know, to get rid of the deal and stuff like this. And luckily there was, you know, people in the Universal Germany that actually then wanted to release such an album. And the rest is, of course, history. That it turned out to be good. We found our position. But with all the albums, we have always wanted to kind of follow the same feel, that the main thing in Apocalyptica is to maintain our own inner flame in making music, and therefore that's also one of the possibilities, one of the reasons probably why we have been developing so much, because we want to challenge ourselves, and with every project we want to go a little bit further and find a new way to do things.
So when you, as you say, for this record, you kind of wanted to rediscover this identity and this passion. So, what did you figure out in that year off? What did you learn about yourself, about the band?
The main discovery during the year probably was definitely the feel that we have to increase and we have to really focus into the very soul of our group, which would be just us, you know. And probably it needed this little time to see it from a distance, that no matter we have been blessed, you know, working with unbelievably amazing artists and everything, but in basically everywhere in media, in everywhere, the attention very many times went totally to the fact that okay, with whom did you work actually this time, and wow, now there is this and this dude, and it's cool, but it's easily you forget the music behind everything with this kind of rule. And so that was a reason we had the silent auditions. We just sent out the word for key persons in music business that we are seeking this and this type of a vocalist for making the album and all the touring with us, because that was also one of the main and biggest reasons why we wanted to do this, that we need to have the same voice in our concerts everywhere. So therefore, then we started to get a lot of suggestions, and Franky turned out to be the most suitable, the capability of him delivering strong vocals, but also the most sensitive parts. That was of course, one of the main reasons that we needed to find a vocalist who has a fragile soul as well, because that's another important part of our band. And yeah, Franky is, I think we are very fortunate having him in there. Besides him being an amazing vocalist, he is a great fellow and also experienced. He's been doing music business for so long already with so cool artists, so we didn't need to teach anyone into the manners.
When did you first hear him sing? Do you remember?
Yeah, basically it was during last summer when we went through these auditions. I have to say that I didn't know him beforehand, but he was selected out of a bunch of possibilities, and it was very, very funny that we actually played the first time together. We played immediately in a festival in Canada in front of Metallica show, 50,000 people, and we didn't have any single rehearsals because that was not possible. But that was his trial. Okay, come to sing I Know Jesus and I Don't Care with us, and let's see.
But is it because, well, you get a new singer, and there's always, even though, as you said, you had a lot of auditions and you kind of picked somebody out of it, there's always, you never know how it's going to work out. So was that the moment that you kind of knew this is going to be good?
I think the main thing was the last round, when we actually we had two possibilities left. And then we sent the Hole in My Soul, the kind of most groovy, vibey and sensitive track from the new album. We wanted to hear those dudes now to record the new material. And that song and the Franky's performance was beyond, that was very, very touching, emotional. So that was basically the final. But it was also fun when we announced him that, okay, you would have been picked if you just want to take the gig. And so we had the Skype call us Finns in our rehearsal room, and then we try to connect with Franky. Of course, we gave him a Finnish welcome, and when he opens his Skype video channel, we four are naked in the hello, welcome to the because those Americans, they are not so natural with the nudity. It's always cool to shock them.